Rick. Hi, this morning we're going to talk about what things are worth. And the reason I decided this might be a good thing to present to the realtors is because uh, your clients come to you and with this beautiful item and say, this has been appraised at $10 million, $10,000. And we look at it and we say, we can sell this for maybe 500. And they think we're being mean. The client thinks we're being mean. And there's a few things going into account that most people aren't aware of, or just things that happen in the market and how valuations are made and what types of value are placed on items. So we deal with personal property. Y'all deal with real property. And of course, you know that real property is fixed. You can't move it, but personal property can be taken from place to place. So today, everything in any economy that's free floating and not regulated is supply and demand. Our business is selling the goods that people have in their homes for them so they can get on to their next stage of life. You know, the thing is, over the generations, people's desires and their lifestyles have changed to the point that the younger generation doesn't want a lot of the things that my parents' generation truly valued and really thought was wonderful. You know, these kids would rather have something they can throw in the dishwasher than a beautiful gilded plate. They want something they can use, not have to take a lot of good care of, and get on with life. So, just a thought, what do you think the annual revenue for the self-storage industry is in the US? Almost $40 billion annually. That's a lot of money. How many people do you think actually use their garage for parking their cars? Only 15%. And you guys probably know this because you're in and out of more houses than everybody else. Certain items are very popular right now. Those are listed in the hot category, you know, sterling silver, fine jewelry, rare coins. Some things that are not in so fancy or not as in demand are glassware, furniture, especially large furniture. Figurines and collectibles used to be super popular. Now they are losing their value rapidly. And some antique people just aren't as interested in antiques. They want something that's easy to care for. It's not going to break, that they can kind of get into, sit down on kind of hard and not have it collapse under them. Come on. So want to look at today 4 different types of value, because each of these types of value means something different. The 4 types are insurance or replacement value, perceived value, sentimental value, and then fair market value. Insurance value refers to the amount an entity would have to pay, generally an insurance company, to replace the asset without shopping around in the retail setting. That means they find the first one they can and they buy it no matter what it costs. So that is going to be a higher value than most people are willing to actually pay for that item. Perceived value refers to the way a customer or client looks at a product and they decide what it would be worth, and or do they need it. Just because they perceive the value, it doesn't mean they're willing to purchase the item. You know, a client may decide that a beautiful walnut dining table is worth more than the IKEA pine table, but if they're not in the market for a dining room table, they're not going to buy either one. Then there's sentimental value, and this is where a lot of people get tripped up. I mean, I'm talking about your clients and my clients. Maybe their grandmother knitted it, like this Afghan here, or maybe it's something they worked really hard to pay for in their youth, and they really have treasured it ever since. Unfortunately, buyers don't pay for sentimental value. If it's worth so much to them in sentimental value that they are going to be upset at the price it's going to bring at auction, it's better not to auction it and simply to keep it. Then there's fair market value, and this is the price at which buyers and sellers with a reasonable knowledge of the pertinent facts about the item, who are not acting under any compulsion or immediate need, are willing to do business. This is the price that we sell items at auction. When we are doing an auction, there is a limited time for the clients to decide, for the purchasers to decide, do I want this item and how much am I willing to pay? And the sellers have decided, your clients, my clients have decided, I got to get rid of this stuff in the house because I'm living in a $2 million house and I'm going to get a lot more money from the house than I am from my grandmother's collection of Hummels. I just am. So let's get rid of the Hummels, sell the house, get rid of the carrying costs on the house, and get the cash. And that's in your best interest. It's in the client's best interest, and it can be in our best interest too. So here's some guessing games. In your head, think about what you think this vintage Evinrude motor would be worth at auction. Then the next slide is going to be what it actually sold for. $145. It's used. You can see there's some wear on it. Only people that have boats would be interested in this, and only certain types of boats. So at auction, this is what it sold for. This is a mid-century modern rosewood credenza. Mid-century modern is currently the best-selling type of used furniture out there. People like this style, so they're willing to pay a little bit more for it. So make your head guesses. This one sold for $1,275, which is, for furniture currently, that's a lot of money for used furniture. Even though, who
Heather,
knows what
excuse
to
me,
pay?
Heather. We're only seeing the original, the first slide, so we're not seeing the items.
You're not, I'm not clicking through and you're not seeing slides?
Correct. We're just seeing the what's it worth slide, the first one.
Okay, well, that's terrible. From current slide, come on. Now, can you see a mid-century modern credenza with 1,275 at the bottom?
No, we're still seeing the original what's it worth slide.
Okay,
Try clicking on the arrows and then that will move
I
it
am
forward and
clicking.
back.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Start slideshow. Okay, let me switch. Anyway, mid-century modern credenza went for 1,275. Now, okay, so now I'm seeing what you're
There you go.
saying.
Now it's moving. Yes.
Sorry, it showed up on my screen correctly. I don't know why it didn't come through.
Okay. Yeah, it's coming over now. So
Okay, that's the credenza that came out for $1,275. Now this is a bunch of Waterford crystal, which, why is this not coming through now? Well, I'll just do it that way. Waterford crystal that was really popular when I was growing up. It was considered very desirable. This collection only sold for $23. Kind of a letdown for people who thought it was worth a lot. But for example, this Fender Telecaster, not a Stratocaster, Telecaster, went for $1,150. It was considered desirable because baby boomers are collecting the things they coveted in the 70s and couldn't have. Here's some vintage green jewelry. This one shocked me, but I think it's actually jade, and someone could tell from the pictures. I don't know that the auctioneer knew that's what it was. This collection of jade jewelry went for $2,375. A lot more cash than even the beautiful credenza. Okay, Hummels. You see a lot of these in houses. They were very desirable at one time. This collection went for $29, less than $5 per statue. When your clients tell you we didn't get enough out of your thing, I'm pulling these things from a nationwide auction site. We run CT Bids, it's a nationwide site. These are after people all over the country. We have 800 million registered bidders who put their cards online. Not 800, no, 800, about a million. 800,000 to a million people who have their cards online saying, I'll buy it if I win. And that's what these came up with. After a million people looked at them, that's what they got paid. Silver plate. Silver plate is different than sterling. A lot of people nowadays don't understand the difference and think their good silver is actually sterling when it's silver plate, and it's worth $32. Basically, it's a thin coating of sterling over the items. Makes them look good, but they're not, you can't even melt it down for the silver. On the other hand, Matchbook's toys, cute little toy cars, this collection went for $205 because it was something the baby boomers had in their past and wanted. So they were able to bid it up. Now this one that's coming up, you'll see this is a print, which is not an original. It's a copy of an original that was done by Picasso, the real Pablo Picasso, at UCLA in 1961, and there its dimensions. This beautiful print went for $160 because it's a copy. A lot of people have prints and they think they have originals and they don't understand the difference. So when you get this kind of a price for a Picasso print, that tells you that prints are not worth as much as originals. And the way you can tell is usually on the lower portion of the print, either on the front or in the back, there's two numbers, a big number and a small number. And the closer to number one the print is, the higher the value. I don't remember the number on the Picasso. This is a grandfather clock. My parents' generation spent a lot of money on these. We were able to sell it for $2. And this is not something we sold at our offices over the nation. Why? It's big. You know that the younger people are struggling to purchase homes in the area. When they do, they have to settle for a home that's smaller than the home they grew up in generally. So they have trouble finding somewhere to put it. There's also style issues with the traditionally styled items. The younger buyers just generally don't like them. So that's why this beautiful grandfather clock went for a whole $2. On the other hand, it may be worth it to your client to have a clock like this go for $2 because to get it to the hauler may cost them $200. So it's maybe in their advantage to sell it at a loss simply to not have to pay for having it removed. What happened? No, it's not going. Okay, well, I'm having technical difficulties again. The next item was a set of L Lionel curved tracks for trains, for toy trains. This was a set of 30 pieces of track. This went for $275 because it's, again, something that reminds the baby boomers of their childhood. It's shippable, and people like toys and collectibles. We also had a 1963 Barbie doll with a case, a clean, good case, plastic case, and a set of clothing. That went for $302, basically. Why? The seller was lucky that the Barbie movie came out very close to this auction. Toys, clean toys that are not broken, sell really well. Toys that are really popular originally got played with so much, there generally aren't a lot of really good intact pieces left, and the person had the case with them. And then our final item is a beautiful inkwell clock. This is, I would say, in a Victorian style. The clock was about 3 inches tall, all coated in basically gold paint, not even gold leaf, just gold paint. Went for $312. Reasons it's attractive: it was small enough to be shippable. Some people collect historical artifacts, and this also had a double category of clock collectors. So the collectors of historical artifacts can battle in the bidding realm against the clock collectors, and that will drive the price up. So when your client is ready, or when you have a client that needs to clean out the house, I would recommend that you at least consider recommending an online auction to them, because we come in, we take all the pictures, we write all the descriptions, we use CT bids, which is a format which guarantees your client will be paid because these people already have their cards on file. You want to make sure that your client gets all of the family heirlooms or really important sentimental items out first, because those are the things that mean the most to their hearts. You want to beware of friends and family shopping your house before the auction. They will tend to take the most expensive items and get them for free. We have had clients say, you know, you're welcome to buy that at the auction, especially for friends. Family members, you know, there's some leeway, although if you have quarreling siblings, this is also a good strategy to use so that they're to deflect family fights. You also want to choose who you have set up the auction and run it carefully. You don't want people that are going to have anything in their contract that says, after the auction, anything that doesn't sell is mine. Because, or after the estate sale, anything that doesn't sell is mine to sell as I wish. That is a bad contract for your client. And you want to make sure that you use a company that does not do that. There are some in the South Bay that have that clause, and that can lead to overpricing so that they can get the item and sell it for 100% of their own benefit rather than the benefit of your client. And we are Caring Transitions. We are an affiliate member of the PV Association, Palos Verdes Peninsula Association of Realtors. And you can't see the screen, but all of our info is available at the PVPAR website. And I'll be there at the breakfast this coming week. And I will also be at the installation. If you want to talk to me, pick my brain, I would love to meet you and answer any questions you've got. And that's all I've got, especially since I can't get the technology to work. But
So Heather, before you go, so can you just share a little bit about the timing? So when
okay.
when a home seller or a realtor comes to you, how much time do you actually need in order to go through the home, get everything sorted out, figure out what the pricing is? So what does that look like for you?
Okay, provided the house is not like over 4,000 square feet. This is for an under 4,000 square feet estimate. Unless it's towards the middle end of summer, we get the deposit on one day, say January 1st. I am typing the invoice February 1st and writing out the refund check. So your clients will get a check within a month. That includes going through everything in the house to see if it's sellable, donatable, needs to be taken to hazardous waste, shredding, etc. Running the auction, running the pickup for the auction, and then cleaning out the house, leaving it spotless for you, well, vacuumed and swept, no strange items lurking, nothing in the backyard, nothing in the garage except for paint to cover up dings and things. So it's about a month during normal season. During the height of summer, when a lot of people are wanting to move, it does take us about 6 weeks. But that a family doing it themselves generally takes 12 to 18 months. They've got all their carrying costs that whole time. Taxes, insurance, maintenance, utilities, plus mortgage possibly. So we do this to save the client and save the client time and money and get the money in the realtor's pockets quicker. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so just to be clear, so during a slow time like right now, the realtors that are on with this right now can expect about a month for you to go in and have everything taken out and for the home to be ready for sale, right?
Yes, and for the client to get their check.
Okay, got it. And then as we get to the busier times in the peak time of summer, then we're looking closer to like 6 weeks, right? For that
Correct.
process. Okay, all right, great. Any other questions from our realtors that are on right now? Cheryl, CJ, Leslie, Vincent, Zoltan, any questions for you?
No, this was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vincent.
Okay.
Can I just ask, what do you do with the items left behind? Done a few of these estate sales with clients, and I saw that during the estate sale, like glasses that they had, thousands of, were listed for like $8 each. So none of them sold. And then they had a person come and take it for a fee and sell it at the swap meet. Can you talk about that a little bit? And what do you do with the 1,000 glasses and plates?
And the mugs, yes. If they're pricing it that high, I would say that's overpricing. Clear glass, like just your basic tumblers, even crystal right now is not selling. It just isn't across the nation. People like the colored glass, the colored crystal. They're not selecting the clear. So if you're going to do just a traditional estate sale where you price everything, you're going to want to price that to go. And if you are having a swap meet dealer come in and take it all away and still expect your client to pay them to do that, that's not a good setup. We do have a guy that comes and takes stuff, but it's for free. So the hours to get it all to his truck, and there are no hauling fees for your client. Your client is not charged for his work to get it out of the house to his truck. We have that available, but we make sure that your client is not being charged for that service because he's getting the benefit of selling this stuff for your client. That also reduces the end hauling costs because there are some things like grandfather clocks that he cannot take away. But the goal is always to reduce the haulage costs for your client. That's our goal. So if you find that you're in a situation where there's a lot of stuff that's not selling, I would talk to the estate sale broker about possibly reducing the price to save your client haulage costs. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and that you guys don't charge for that is kind of huge. It sort of seemed like a conflict of interest. So that's great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we do charge for hauling when we have to take it to the literal dump. Because the dump charges fees and the guys with the trucks, of course, charge for their time and gas. But if we can get a seller, say at the Rhodium or swap meet, to come get it for free, that's a win-win for everybody.
Great. I kind of thought so too. Yeah, that makes sense that you have to pay to take it to the dump. That's great. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Any other questions?
All right, I don't see any of the questions right now. So last chance for Heather before she goes. All right, so thank you, Heather. I will be sending out Heather's information in an email to everyone that did attend today. And if you do have any further questions, feel free to reach out to Heather. She is one of our Affiliates in Action members. So thank you, Heather, for putting on today's presentation and yeah, just providing this great service.
Thank you, Rick, for the opportunity. We appreciate it.
Okay. All right, last chance before Heather goes. Going once, going twice. All right. Thanks, Heather. Have a good day. All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Rick.
you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.